Hi, everybody. Today we are going to be talking about Reiki and its numerous benefits. So, we live in a world today of energy that nourishes and maintains all living things. And when this energy flows uninterrupted, there is balance and harmony within and around us. And we experience a sense of well being and calm. But unfortunately, with hardships and all the distractions of life, most of us have blockages in our energy flow. So, because of that, we can experience lots of problems. But it's okay because we are lucky enough to have gifted Reiki masters to help us restore that energy. So, I am beyond excited to have the privilege to speak with Irma today, who, in my opinion, is one of LA's best and most popular Reiki masters. Irma has been healing people for about 31 years and has developed her own unique approach that she utilizes today. So, Irma is extremely intuitive. She has a wealth of medical knowledge. She has very strong energy that has healed hundreds of people throughout her entire career. So, Irma, thank you so much for being here.
Hello, my dear Nurham, and thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here, and I really appreciate that I have this opportunity to reach out so many people that would really benefit from a Reiki energy session.
Thank you. Now, first, I really would like for everybody to hear from you directly. So, can you please just give us a brief, share a little bit about your journey and how you've come to where you are today?
Okay, so I'm from Peru. I was born in Peru and came here to live in the United States in '86. And since I was a child, I could sense people's energy. It was
Mhm.
extremely overwhelming for me. I had an anxiety disorder. I just couldn't figure it out what it was. So I could see things, that other people would not understand, and I couldn't share because it was kind of scary. I didn't understand it. And something I was very young, I was very interested in those type of energies. I was very interested in healing. So I kind of start studying by myself, gathering a lot of books, attending different workshops, and being surrounded with people that were also into the healing business. Okay. And then when I came to the United States, I furthered my knowledge by taking more classes and different type of healing modality, from quantum touch, pranic healing, Reiki healing, and so many healing modalities. I experimented with plant medicines because I knew that everything in a way contribute to your healing and feeling much better when you are going through a difficult situation, either physically, emotionally, or spiritually. So my journey brought me here, in the United States to be able to do this work. And I have to consider myself to be very lucky because I love what I do. Okay. That's, I think, extremely important when you are working, doing something that you really love is my calling. And by the way, I went to medical school for 2 years in my country. So I have a background in healing. My dad is a doctor also. There's a lot of actually doctors in my family. So I knew my calling was into helping others to feel better physically, emotionally, or spiritually. So that's where my journey took me. I have my center, and I just, through the whole years of studying and experiencing with plant medicine, I channel my own way of healing other people, even symbols that I actually implement during my energy session. Okay. So all these experiences and knowledge that I have been able to acquire have actually helped me in order to be able to channel the energy in a faster manner, being more effective to remove any blockages from anybody in their energy field, and also to be able to speed the healing process. So that's what I came out with my own healing modality. And that's what I use these days. It's a combination of everything that I learned. And it actually is always evolving. So there's always something new that I channel that I know is something that is going to work. So I always constantly changing. I don't think I have never stopped learning, and I will never stop learning because I always think there's always something out there that you can implement in using and moving the energy. Now I'm into quantum healing, which is so powerful these days, and how to tap into that energy to be able to promote healing at the cellular level, healing at, as you know, trauma. A lot of people think trauma is stored in your mind, my memory, but in every cell in your body. So the quantum healing goes and tap into every energy, every cell in your body to be able to promote discharging that stuck energy or negative energy that is causing physical, emotional, or spiritual issues in your life.
Wow, thank you. Thank you so much. That's really, really helpful context. Now, for all the newbies, can you just briefly explain what is Reiki? What happens in one of your sessions? What exactly do you do, and why do we need to kind of move our energy and restore it?
Okay, so Reiki is a healing modality that comes from Japan, and through this type of energy, you learn certain symbols that are applied into certain areas of your body to promote healing. Okay, and with those, using your hands, and you're gonna actually draw the symbol of certain areas of the body, and then you put uh, uh, you put your hands next to the person's body, either above or kind of touching, depending on the person's preferences. And with that, you are moving any stuck energy that is causing physical, emotional, or spiritual issues. So you start from the top of your head and you go all the way to the bottom, all the way to the feet, and also in the back area, because we have a front chakra and we have back chakra. So you have to work both front and back into the Reiki healing modality. And basically, the person is going to be lying on their back, and I place crystals on the energy centers of the body. I like to use aromatherapy because it's very important to bring relaxations. I use special music with special binaural beats that are very important, so you can work the right and left area of your brain to promote healing. And then I start the session by covering the eyes. I think it's really nice when the person's eyes are totally dark, because that promotes and helps the person to look colors. And sometimes people have visions of people that passed away, or they have, so it promotes more open in the third eye. And I like to place an amethyst on the forehead. And I just start by doing a prayer of protection and using my hands and kind of like moving with my hands the energy stuck on the person's body, and bringing the good energy into that center to promote healing, physical, emotional, or spiritually. And as I said, the symbols are current. There is a symbol for emotional healing. You're going to like do a breakout. And then you have symbols to promote, grounding into your body, because as you know, especially now after the pandemic, people are very afraid. They have a lot of fear, and we're too much in our head. Okay. And then we're overthinking. We have a lot of fear. We're too much into this self-talk that is negative. You are not connected to Mother Earth. Okay. So you don't feel grounded. So healing promotes this grounding, bringing a balance between your upper energy centers and your lower energy centers. So the good thing about Reiki, it helps at every level, physical, emotional, or spiritual. So you have a breakup, if you have any type of illness, if you have kind of like lost and you don't know where to go in your life. So it brings you a lot of clarity. It brings you a lot of wellness. It brings you a lot of calmness. So you feel so calm after the session, and kind of like help you a lot to make the changes that you need to make in order to continue with your healing journey. Okay, so by opening all the energy centers, and then you realize, oh my God, I feel so good. I want to continue feeling that way. So then it continues with either coming back to me, or I provide actually a lot of information for the person to continue doing after the Reiki, so they continue their healing journey and keeping their energy centers aligned and in a good energy state.
That's great. So you enable it for the person. You make it much easier. You unblock everything. And then moving forward, that person can actually do it for themselves as well, as long as they're consistent.
Exactly. Yes. And that's where the tricky part comes.
Yes,
Okay?
of course.
Because it's about being committed to it. Okay.
Yeah.
So I would really recommend, at least at the beginning, you never had any, at least 3 to to see the benefit of it. And then you just come as needed. And obviously, as I said, I give you information that you need to follow up every single day. I mean, some people just come for one session, two, and they do whatever recommendation I give, and they are doing amazing. And so people, I know it's difficult, kind of like separate time in your day and be committed to really doing the meditations that I recommend, the breath work. And that's the person that have a tendency to come back a little bit more often with me. But one thing that I always emphasize to all my clients, there is no magic pill. I know that's, but people need to understand there is no magic pill. We need to do the work. Okay. Yeah. Every healing is self-healing. I channel the energy. I know everybody calls you're a healer. That's a word that everybody uses, but actually I channel the energy. Mm-hmm. And I promote the healing. So you tap into your own energy and you do the healing yourself. Okay. So every healing is self-healing. So what only thing that I ask for my clients is to be 100% committed to make all the changes that they need to do in order to feel well, physically, emotionally, or spiritually.
Okay, so this is something that naturally happens with us. Our energy already knows what it's doing, it flows, and then we actively block it because of this life. And so the important thing is to unblock it, then to do the work to keep it flowing the way it should be. Okay, and so I'm curious, what about the non-believers? Because I know obviously you need to have a sense of knowing, you need to believe that you can do it, and then you can expand your knowledge and then your way of feeling energy. So have you ever had a client that just came in because either they were convinced or they're just curious, but they don't really believe in any of the stuff?
And I start by explaining them. When you have a happy experience, everything looks beautiful, you are in love, you're able to do, and you feel like you can conquer the world. When something bad happens to you, you feel miserable, you get a stomachache, you get anxiety. So that's energy. A thought and a feeling is energy. Thoughts are made of energy. They create emotions. Emotions create biological changes. And if we are not discharging that negative energy out of your body and we hold on into that negative energy, eventually causes physical, emotional, or spiritual issues. So very simply explained, it happens. And I think everybody has been in a state where you're so happy, everything is going well in your life. And when something goes bad, one thing after the other, because whatever your energy you have, you attract. Your energy is doing well, beautiful thing happens, you're thinking negative, you have a lot of fear, especially what's happening after the pandemic, you have fear, and so much fear is such a low vibrational energy. I would say it is one of the worst because it will block your energy at every level, okay? So you start feeling fatigue, you start feeling anxiety, you start feeling depressed, and I go, I don't know what happens to me. So everything comes to the thought. And it's proven scientifically. I mean, the work of Joe Dispenza. I just went on a retreat to further my knowledge. I went to Colombia, Cartagena. He has scientifically proved with MRIs or CT scans, I mean, one of those two, what happens to a brain if you are thinking about something positive and negative. So there is data, evidence that how powerful we are based on how we think. Okay. So as I said, people get healed through these modalities if they are willing to give themselves 100% and say, I don't want to be the old version of myself where I'm suffering, I'm feeling miserable, I'm feeling resentful because for something that happens to me 20 years ago, I'm still holding on to that anger. So there is database, and if you are willing to change, you change your thinking, you change your emotions, you change your energy, you get healed.
That's great. So if you do have those non-believers that come for a session, have you noticed changes in those people as well? Because let's say they're laying on your table, they're getting the session, but they're very, very skeptical of this. Have you noticed any changes? Do they come out with this, realization after a session?
They do feel calmer. They feel if they have anxiety much better. If they have depression, they feel so much better. They notice it changes. And of course, these people cannot, oh, maybe it's just for one day. So they notice the changes. And when they go, oh my gosh, this really works. I feel so much better after the session. My negative thinking diminished quite a bit. So they realize there is something out there. So I have a lot of new people coming for the first time, and they notice such a big difference. But remember, I give them homework. So that's the important part, that in order to continue feeling better, you have to continue doing certain things. There is no magic pill that you come and then you disappear and you continue with your negative thought. So there are certain things that you can continue doing to feel. So I do have a lot of success with people, but I need to explain what I explained to you before with the scientific data that is proven scientifically, how powerful is our thinking to make us sick or to heal us. So when you explain from that point of view, I think people are more open to understand that this is something that is real.
Right. It really depends on the approach. So if there's a skeptical person, you show them the data, you show them all the studies, and then obviously you get a different response. But then once they try the session, they fully experience it on their own. So, and then the rest is history. What about physical illness? Have you ever witnessed any miracles or people actually recovering or healing from physical illness?
Yes, I've seen people, like, actually right now, and I'm working on a lady that was into a car accident, and she had some surgeries and her whole right body wasn't moving at all. I mean, hardly moving. And after we did 4 sessions, she's walking now. And of course, she's getting physical therapy. And I've been doing the energy work, and, but she's doing the work too. It's not only me. As I said, every healing is self-healing. She's putting an amazing effort, and she's doing better and better. I mean, I just got the video yesterday. I was so excited for her. So you have to also put effort into doing it, okay? Not necessarily depend on anybody. You have to do the work too in order to be able to heal. And I used to work at a hospital in Los Angeles too. I was doing Reiki as a volunteer for a while. And it also helped people with pain, especially cancer patients with nausea. It really, really helped them with diminish the nausea, the pain. And I remember one patient telling me, "What do you guys do?" I mean, it's not what with this the energy, because even nausea is a low vibrational energy, and when you know how to remove it out of the body, the person starts feeling, much better. So it really helps, and it all depends, as I said, on the type of illness that the person has, also the emotional issues that cause that illness. That's important. We're working the physical, emotional, spiritual level. So a lot of things count: the emotional state of the person, how willing they really want to heal, and how willing they are to let go of those emotions that cause that issue. So, yeah.
And what would you say from your just from your experience? What are some of the most common reasons for energy blockages, for illnesses that we can potentially create for ourselves? Is it stress? Is it fear?
I would say right now, after the pandemic, a lot of fear.
Okay.
A lot of fear that is causing a lot of anxiety and depression. Okay, and people feeling lost. They don't know where they go to. A lot of people changing careers because they feel so disappointed about what they are doing. So it's kind of like trying to find their spiritual calling. And before that, I would say a lot of anger, people not forgiving. That's a big one. With somebody that's done something to you, and we all have experienced really bad situations in our life, and which you are not willing to forgive and let go. Oh my goodness, that creates a lot of blockages. And it could be something that happened to you as a child, and you still hold that anger. It's gonna block every sense, every energy center, until you're willing to let it go. So I would say anger, fear. Those two are really, really. I mean, there are so many.
Yes.
But I would say the anger is a low vibrational, and fear is also a very strong one.
And so when we go along many years, months or years with those same feelings, that actually it could manifest into physical illness, correct? Because our body has been blocking that flow for so long that we can.
That energy, if you don't release it, and something bad happens to you and you're so angry about it, and then eventually that energy, it turns into a pattern, like a behavioral pattern, where you snap at everyone, you are so unhappy, and it becomes part of you and your personality, unfortunately. And energy can uh, create a shift in the matter. Okay, so if you have that energy, according to the issue that you had, it lodged in certain areas of your body. From what I learned, like breast cancer has an emotional meaning. Of course, we're talking about, obviously you are not eating healthy, you're exposed to chemicals and everything. By all means, that also counts.
Yeah.
But if you have so much stress, like in the case of a breast cancer, you are giving, and you never take care of yourself, or you're in a situation in your life, let's say like a partner that you are giving to your son, to everybody, and all of a sudden, you get breast cancer. Breast cancer has to do with giving, and you don't take care of yourself. So it's good to give and receive. It has to be a balance. But when we're overdoing things without taking care of ourselves, then it comes and it shows in our body, like a physical illness, and it's a way of the universe telling us, you need to work on this. You need to release that energy in order to be able to heal. Liver, like people that have cancer in the liver, is anger that you haven't processed, anger that you haven't released. And I had a client, she go, I'm not angry, I'm happy. And then he talks about the situation that happened when he was a child. Well, that anger was sitting there, even though he was not processing consciously, was there, and it caused. So that energy can change matter. But as I said, obviously, not eating healthy, being exposed to chemicals and so on, so that also can contribute to illnesses in everybody's life.
Okay. And what advice do you have for all of us who seek to keep that high life force energy in our day-to-day life, especially with all the problems that are currently going on?
I would say work on your energy, either through Reiki or any healing modality. Meditation is amazing because through meditation, you raise your energy and vibration. Okay. A lot of grounding meditations is a way of releasing any negative energy you have accumulated through the day. You send it into Mother Earth and you bring the good energy. I call it energetically pooping. It sounds funny, but I think when I say that, people understand you don't want to be constipated. So the same way your energy feel gets constipated, so you will need to release that energy. So other ways of grounding, going to the beach. That's why when you go to the beach, it's not the beautiful view, obviously it's that, but also the negative ions cleanse your energy. When you go to the grass and you put your feet on the grass, either with socks or without socks, not shoes, there is an exchange of energy that is cleaning your energy field. So there are many things to do, but you need to do the work every day. I'm not telling people meditate 3 hours a day. You just need to find time for yourself, 20 minutes, 15 minutes, where you sit so quietly and you start looking into your body and feeling, what I have a stomach ache, what happens to me yesterday or 2 weeks ago, and release that energy and setting the intention of releasing and not to hold that energy of that emotion, because when you do, that's when it creates physical, emotional, and spiritual. And obviously eating healthy, obviously doing any type of exercise, yoga, walking, anything. We have to take care of all the areas in our body. Don't watch any bad news. That's a big one. You know that most of our thoughts are not even our thoughts. It's information that we have listened and been exposed through the day. So that's a big one, making sure that you're feeding yourself positive stuff, listening to positive music. And of course, you want to know what's going on in the world. But when you are watching the news 24/7, and believing every story that is on the news that you don't even know whether it's going to happen or not, oh my gosh, you get very sick. So,
right.
So you
as
need
long
to
as we don't consume ourselves, we can watch it, but as long as we don't let it really emotionally affect us. Because as soon as the emotions are involved, that's when we give out that low vibration, right?
Yes, you fall into the fear, you fall into the anger, and that's when your vibration lowers.
Okay. Thank you for that. And can somebody get a remote Reiki session?
Yes, for sure. The good thing about energy doesn't care about distance. So I can do a Reiki with somebody in Dubai, the energy is still traveling, because in our three-dimensional world, we think about separation.
Yeah.
In the energy world, in the quantum world, everything happens right at this time. So energy can be transferred, and as I said, in Reiki, you use a special symbol for the distant healing.
Mm-hmm.
And I can even feel the person's energy from far away, and people, because I'm connecting to your energy field, and I can read what's happening in your energy field. So the distance session is going to work for sure. It's effective, and it's a little bit different, like when somebody comes here, because there's only music in the background. I'm using my hands. So this one is more like a guided meditation, where I tell people to visualize colors and feelings and setting the intention of releasing that energy. And so it's more like a guided meditation. And at times I'm quiet when I'm working on the energy center, and I'm working on the energy centers to remove the stuck energy.
What are some of the physical feelings that people get during a session that they share with you?
Some people feel shift in temperature. That's a big one. You feel cold, and then you feel hot, and it's really weird, like it shifts abruptly, and also a tingling sensation.
Tingling.
Yeah, like electricity in your body. And some people, oh, I felt so many, like electricity, tingling. And by the way, some people don't feel anything, and it's not bad. Some people, not because you don't feel, it's not effective. Everybody connects to their energy field different. Some people are able to tap into the energy. Some people are still not connected, but it doesn't mean that it's not effective. It's effective. But I would say 80 to 90, I would say more than 90, they feel something in their body as they are receiving the Reiki session.
That's amazing. And you mentioned that some people, their third eye even opens up during a session.
Yes.
So
they can see loved one that passed away. They receive messages about situations in their life that they need to clarify, and they need to resolve, and they go, oh my gosh, now I had a realization that I need to do that. So I really like to work on the third eye on a safe manner, because you have to be careful also when you open. Some people can have that sense of clarity and intuition in being able to use that tool to make the decisions, good decisions in their life.
Well, I speak from experience because I remember my session with you last year, and exactly what you are describing right now, that's exactly what happened to me. I felt tingling all over my body. I felt all of a sudden very, very warm, and then I was cold.
Well, yes.
Feel the energy moving. And then I started getting messages from like the second version of myself giving me guidance and
Yes,
telling me I should move,
yes,
which
yes.
was amazing. So what about, do you ever get messages about the client that you're working on?
Oh, yes, yes, all the time. Yes, about situations in your life or possible scenarios that could happen. So I tell them, if you do this, you can avoid these situations, and kind of like giving guidance about situations or questions that they have, especially important, like in regards to a job or in regards to a partner. Yes, I channel energy, but it all depends on the person. I mean, it's not that something that happens all the time. It all depends what the person needs at the time of the session.
Okay. So who would be the people that you recommend Reiki the most to? Maybe people dealing with depression or anxiety or physical illness, or everybody?
I would say everyone would totally benefit. Even if you feel that everything is good, there is nothing wrong in getting Reiki, even if you see your life is going, because there's nothing wrong in getting an extra energy charge on your body. So you're going to benefit somehow. But people, obviously, with illnesses, people with anxiety and depression, that's a big one. I have a lot of clients with anxiety and depression. It really, really helps. Insomnia, that's also is really, really helpful, because it kind of like calms your body down, and people have a better sleep after a Reiki energy session. So I would say everyone would totally benefit from a session.
Okay. And what advice do you have for people looking for a Reiki practitioner? What should exactly they be looking for? A Reiki master? How do you know if somebody is credible or that they
Okay.
can be trusted?
Okay. Besides looking, because everything now is on a website, going to the website, you can start healing even on Reiki too. So you can go to a Reiki practitioner, or you can go to a Reiki master. I would look into how many years have they been working on it. And also I would talk to the person over the phone. I think it's extremely important. like I provide free energy consultation because I think that it's important that people listen to my voice. By that, they are feeling my energy.
Yeah.
So kind of like talk to the person and address your concerns, have any question that you may have before the energy session. And then after talking to the person, you will see whether you are a good match or not for that. Also, I would look into somebody spending time in talking to you after the session. So you come into the session, you tell these are my situation, and somebody giving you feedback after the situation, I think is very important. I had myself experiences where I need to get Reiki myself, obviously, because I'm doing energy work. And I remember going to a lady and the feedback was very minimal. It wasn't that the Reiki wasn't bad, but I think feedback is extremely important. So kind of like guiding people where to go and what to do after the session. So all of those things, quality time, I think is very important, and communication on both sides.
Exactly. Because it's a journey for somebody. Some people have never meditated, have never, invested their time into feeling their own energy. So it's an opportunity to learn and actually start implementing that into your own life.
Yes,
What would
yes.
you say, what is the difference between a Reiki master and Reiki practitioner?
Well, the Reiki master learns some special symbols where you can teach other people to learn Reiki. So there are more advanced symbols. That's the only difference. You take the Reiki master, of course, you have the master symbol, plus you have the ability to be able to attune people when you teach Reiki.
Okay, great, great. Well, thank you, Yrma. What is the name of your practice and where is it?
I'm located in Beverly Hills, and you look at my website, Yrma Wilson. And as I said, if you go into my website, I provide different type of Reiki, like Reiki to cut Reiki for depression, for anxiety, for cancer, just a regular Reiki session. I have a type of Reiki to cut negative energetic cords, like if you have a situation with somebody that has really damaged, we can cut that energetic cord in a safe manner. And I do also a space clearing that a lot of people don't realize how important it is, how to clean your space, especially if you are somebody's very sick, or you went through a divorce, or you're having difficult situation. The space where you live can hold the energy, the negative energy, stuck energy. And sometimes people feel that they cannot move forward because the energy is stuck in their space where they live. So if you go into my website, you can find all type of different healing modalities. And I'll send you so maybe you can put it at the end if you want to. But you can find me at Yrma Wilson with a Y, Yrma Wilson. And I'm located in Los Angeles, in Beverly Hills.
So even if somebody lives in a different country, they could still get a
Oh,
consultation?
yes. They can get a consultation, 15 minutes free energy consultation. And then we can set up a time and we can do a Zoom session. Some people prefer WhatsApp, and I can accommodate. I'm pretty much very open 7 days a week to different hours because I know everybody's availability is different. And also I can accommodate with people that live like 10 hours ahead of me or behind. So I'm always pretty much available to accommodate to people's needs.
Perfect. And so even if it's a remote session, people still have those same kinds of experiences, the tingliness and
Yes.
It's not different than being in person, not less
No,
powerful.
some people can feel the tingling sensation, and a few percent that they don't, and they feel a sense of feeling very relaxed. So now, as I mentioned before, not because you don't feel it, it's not good. It's just everybody's connection to your own energy is different. Some people, for some reason, they're not very connected to their own energy. But the more you do it, the more you will, and you will be able to feel your own energy. Anyone can do it. It's just a matter of practice, to being able to feel your own energy. So everybody's different, but it's still not because you don't feel it. It doesn't mean that it's not good. It's still as effective.
Right. I mean, the way when I started feeling my own energy, I realized it's kind of like going to the gym where your trainer says, engage your abs. And you first
Exactly.
don't know how to feel your own abs. Maybe
Yes.
you don't have that strong muscle yet. And then the more you do it, you actually realize how to isolate those muscles.
Yes.
So same with energy. It seems like the
Yes.
more you practice, the better you get.
Yes, and at times, I mean, I have people that come for the first time. They go, "Oh my gosh, I feel weird stuff." That's your energies. I know it can be weird. You never felt it before. It feels like tingling, like a little electricity in your body moving, stuff moving on the right, moving on the left. But it's beautiful. That's your energy. That's
Yeah, that's energy.
okay.
Well, Irma, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us. I will include all the links at the bottom of the video, but I really appreciate all the knowledge that you shared with us. And if anybody has questions, please comment and we will be sure to answer them.
Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity and to reach out to so many people that I know they need it right now.
Yeah,
Thank you.
more than ever right now. Thank you, Irma.
Okay.